Elaine nodded and patted a flattering, "My son-in-law is the best. He knows me best." Charlie went on to say at this time, "I happen to have a friend who is in the cosmetics import business. I will ask him when I meet him. It just so happens that he still wants to find me to show him the new storefront for feng shui. Then I will let him get 2 sets of cosmetics to cover the cost of feng shui." When Elaine heard this, she said excitedly, "Really? Oh, my good son-in-law, you are really Mom's good son-in-law." Mom really didn't expect that after experiencing the warmth and cold in the world, I finally realized that this son-in-law is the best son-in-law. You're worth relying on. Other mothers-in-law, elder brothers-in-law, husbands and even daughters will lose their chains at critical times. In fact, Elaine didn't want to be Charlie's dog licking him. But her current situation is too embarrassing. Without the financial power of the family, she is almost impoverished and penniless, and this luxurious Thompson first-class villa was still under the name of Charlie and had nothing to do with her. More importantly, since losing more than $2 million in the game with Horia last time, Elaine also knows that her current family status is relatively low, and even Jacob, who has always been suppressed by her, also turned his face and beat her. In this case, she really doesn't have any arrogant capital. So Elaine knew that now she could only be a human being with her tail clipped, and she has to please Charlie a lot. Otherwise, if Charlie turned his face with her that day and drove her out, it would be over. Besides, Charlie was still willing to ask her about expensive cosmetics, so she immediately complimented him. Claire didn't expect that Charlie would take the initiative to ask her mother about cosmetics. She felt helpless, so she asked Charlie, "My husband, why haven't I heard that you have friends in the cosmetics business?" Charlie smiled and said, "Since I started to show feng shui to others, my social circle has become wider and wider. How else could I know Liang, the boss of JX Pharmaceutical? If it wasn't because I knew Liang, you two have no chance to eat with a big star like Sarah, right?" Claire nodded lightly, and sighed, "Hey, if you don't owe someone to your family, it's better not to owe it. There are hundreds of thousands of caviar anti-aging cosmetics, which is really too much for a family like us. It's extravagant, no need." Elaine was anxious and said hurriedly, "Oh girl. Who said it is unnecessary? My son-in-law Charlie didn't say that it was unnecessary. Don't talk nonsense here." After finishing speaking, she looked at Charlie too busy, and said with a smile, "Charlie, Mom's old face depends on you. Otherwise, if your dad always abandons in the future and really wants to divorce, when the time comes, then I will be yellow, and the happiness of this life will be gone." Charlie said to Claire at this time, "Claire, don't care about the price too much. After all, I can convert the price into a service by looking at the feng shui matter, without us actually spending money. That's it." Elaine immediately said with a smile, "My son-in-law has the ability. If your mother can live in the Thompson first grade, it is all thanks to your blessing. I think mother can live here. It's all up to you." After finishing speaking, she still didn't forget to sigh with emotion. People said that a son-in-law is half a son. I didn't believe it before, but now I really believe it. Claire was stunned as she watched from the side. She never dreamed that the mother, who had always been so harsh on Charlie, would actually hold him into a flower. So she had to say to Charlie, "Then you can grasp it yourself, don't know what to say." Charlie smiled and said, "Then I will go find him today." Charlie actually has no friends who make cosmetics. He had already made up his mind when he said that. When he finished his business today, he would buy 2 sets of cosmetics like Elaine said, one set for his mother-in-law and the other set naturally for his wife. The reason for giving Elaine this was because Elaine's current attitude made him feel refreshed. What do men want? Except for the beloved woman, isn't it about status and face? Charlie is also the master respected by everyone in Orus Hill's upper class, but he has always been instructed by Elaine at home. Seeing the face of his wife Claire, Charlie could only endure her forever, but it's better now. Elaine finally bowed down to him. Anyway, what he has now is money. If Elaine treats him respectfully and stubbornly every day, she will not care about giving her a small profit. Really, when Elaine heard this, she said with great gratitude, "Good son-in-law. You are really the best son-in-law in the world. It is a blessing for Mom to get a son-in-law like you." The old master on the side sighed again and again. He knew that his son-in-law Charlie has some skills. Since he said he would get cosmetics for Elaine, he would definitely get it. However, when he thought that Elaine was about to use more than 100,000 sets of cosmetics, he felt a little uncomfortable. At this time, Charlie just said to him, "By the way, Dad, do you use the car today? I have something to do. If you don't use the car, can you lend me for today?" Charlie had to go to the airport to see Sarah right away, and then hurry to Orus Hill Stadium. It was indeed a bit inconvenient if there was no car. Jacob hurriedly said, "In this way, you can drive me to the university later. There will be a working meal there at noon, so I won't come back to eat at noon. I will take a taxi and come back by myself after I finish the work in the afternoon." Charlie nodded and said, "Then let's eat quickly, and let's set off when we finish eating." Jacob, "Good." Elaine's cooking skills are average. However, tomato noodles do not require much technical input. So he can barely eat this meal. Charlie and Jacob finished their meal and drove away in a hurry. Charlie just drove Jacob's BMW car out of the house, and Jacob said with emotion, "Oh, Charlie, you are so stupid. Why do you promise Elaine, that stinky lady, to give her such expensive skincare? I don't even look at her, just her compelling fooled you?"